You're watching Saki Chronicles.
All right, you guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
I guess so, but I still think it's a little silly seeing as how none of ours are still around.
True.
It'll be fine. Let's get started. In honor of Mother's Day, we thought that we'd do something different.
And thank God it wasn't like your Christmas Carol idea, because I'm not singing a weird version of Mama Said.
Mama said, Mama said, Mama said.
Nobody wants that, Donnie. Trust me.
Like you could do better singing through that dusty old throat.
No, it's nothing like that, but just a quick list of the top 5 mothers from Resident Evil.
Not that there's a lot to choose from, Barry.
Sleepy's right, there's really only like 5 in total.
Then hopefully this will be quick. I'd also like to put in this mother meter just for kicks. So grab your papers with the listing we all agreed to yesterday, and I'll start us off with number 5. Annette Birkin.
What? Oh, Annette. Tell me, what happened to William?
It's funny, but when you told me what you wanted to do, I immediately thought of this neglectful bitch and how she is just the worst.
I still don't see how she can possibly be worse than any of the others on this list.
Because even though she's trying to stop the spread of the virus,
That's good.
as a mother, she's just terrible.
She can't be saved.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're her mother. Get in here!
That's bad.
Right? I forgot that these are based solely on their motherly characteristics.
My daughter is not your concern.
She leaves Sherry alone at home during the outbreak, which she of all people should know how futile that idea is.
Why didn't you stay in the house? It was safe there.
I did, but nobody came and you didn't answer your phone, so...
Sherry, I don't have time for this.
She also leaves Sherry and the goddamn garbage alone. This woman treats her daughter like a literal
From that dumpster, baby.
Hell, even in the original, she just hangs the world's most infectious virus around her kid's neck like it was on sale from Hot Topic.
The sample's inside the pendant Sherry's wearing.
You gotta be a pretty bad parent when your own daughter wants to get adopted by literal strangers only an hour after you've died.
Hey, you guys can adopt me.
Adopt you.
We can get a puppy.
And that's why she's at the bottom of the list with a 3 on the mother meter.
3? That's being generous.
Well, fucked up or not, she did give her kids some kind of jewelry, so I am sure Sherry was really happy when she received it. Plus, in the remake, it's the literal key to saving her life. Anyways, next up for number 4 is going to have to go to Mia Winters.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me.
Yep, another plank of wood with the motherly instincts to match.
I don't agree with you, Joe. At least not in 7, but in 8, absolutely. I mean, maybe if Capcom allowed her to show a little more affection towards Rose, other than the one moment she's just holding her at the end, I'd push for a higher spot.
No shit. But even that moment is spoiled by the fact that she refuses to strap herself in while riding that chopper, ensuring Rose's safety, all for the sake of being dramatic.
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is.
Funny to think that even when Ethan is dead, he shows more concern for Rose's safety than Mia does.
She's literally inside that chopper, standing 3 feet away from Chris Redfield. By Resident Evil statistics, she has a 200% chance of dying. So maybe do as the man says and.
All good points, but what really made me agree to number 4 is how she ultimately treats Evelyn. She helped manufacture this little girl into the monster she became, and the only price to pay to keep everyone possibly safe was to become her mother.
We can't be a family. We were never a family. We will never be a family.
Hold on, Joe. We already know that wouldn't have mattered because of the Bakers. She got her family either way.
They're mine now.
Did she, though?
Explain, Joe.
Okay, so true. She got what some could call family through the Bakers, but she was obviously never happy and looking to replace them, which is why the moment Ethan shows, she's quick to abandon them.
I was gonna be a father. Now she says he will be her father. No.
Reel it in, Joe. This is about Mia, not Evelyn.
That's what I am getting at. Maybe, just maybe, if Mia had been more motherly and actually treated Evelyn like the daughter she always wanted to be, then maybe all those innocent people would still be alive. Well, except for the researchers, those people were guilty as sin.
Fair enough. I can't stand Mia. That's why I always save Zoe.
I don't want to hear it. Both of you just go.
Well, going off of what we know for sure and not a theory, I'll place her at 4 on the mother meter.
I deserve this.
Side note, it looks like Chris separates Mia from Rose for some god-awful reason, so we don't even know how she's dealing with it. And since Rose doesn't even ask about her mom aside from a single throwaway line.
I haven't seen Mom in ages.
It doesn't seem like a good relationship had blossomed between them.
Good point. Moving on to our number 3, which definitely had some heated back and forths between us. Lady D.
You are so kind to me, daughters.
This is dumb as fuck.
I think her placement is fair, but of course Donnie can't handle it.
The Dami Mommy will always be number 1 in my heart.
Just your heart, huh? That's the only blood-pumping organ she's number 1 with?
All right, enough. It's Mother's Day, for God's sake. I get your infatuation for a certain category on a certain site, but can you keep it in your pants for one fucking day, man?
I doubt it.
Fine. Look, as mothers go, she's the best. Come fight me. Yes, she created her girls from bugs, but she was obviously very loving towards them.
She teaches them how to murder people.
Oh, so that's suddenly monstrous to you, but when Joel does it for Ellie, he's become dad of the fucking year.
Oh, I am getting some popcorn for this.
First, fuck off. Second, he was teaching her for survival. Alcina does it to feed off the villagers.
Is eating not a form of surviving now?
Not if you purposefully slaughter innocent men when there's perfectly good pigs and chickens. And even the Duke rolling around.
Damn, I bet the Duke can feed that castle for days. But all right, I actually have to step in now. Barry, just like yesterday, you can't get pissy over this. Alcina is shown to be very loving and affectionate towards her daughters.
You lay your filthy man hands on my daughters!
Teaching them how to eat is no different than some lioness with her cubs.
Not to mention the actual anger and sadness she feels for when you begin to kill them off.
What have you done to my daughter?
She doesn't even think about just recreating more kids. She's upset for the ones she's lost.
I can always start again. Make another kid.
Point. I concede you're right. She is a monster, but not towards her kids. In fact, they're really loving towards her too. So she gets a solid 7. Now for number 2, we have Mother Miranda.
Don't worry. Your death will come quick.
I can't believe she's this high, to be honest. This is a woman who basically does the exact same thing as Alcina, yet instead of cultivating her children, she discards them.
That's Heisenberg talk. Well, fuck that! I wouldn't call becoming a lord with powers and being granted my own territory discarded. Besides, look at Moreau. He loves it, the little guppy.
Mother Miranda, if it's for you, I'll do anything.
The evidence is there, Joe. This woman's sole purpose is to bring her daughter back to life.
Oh, how I've missed you.
She's a mother who's lost her child to an illness, one that she's lived long enough to see become irrelevant.
That's like getting polio the week before the vaccine is created.
Isn't it ironic?
She's also one of the only villains who isn't trying to take over the world or some stupid shit like Simmons.
He had to be stopped!
And since she has the tech and know how to do it, then why not kill a few villagers to get it done, right?
Mother Miranda! Hey!
Not where I was going with this.
He's not wrong, though.
It's true. Making an omelet and so on. Honestly, to me, the only reason why she's higher than Alcina is simply because of the sheer scale at which Miranda goes through to bring back her daughter. Even to the point that she still tries to make a vessel for Eva when her own physical body is gone.
Plus that entire time she spent masquerading as the real Mia, which must have been several days at least. Her determination is rivaled only by that kid in Undertale.
Determined enough to completely fulfill her duties as Ethan's wife during her time with them.
Duties, really.
There it is.
Fuck off, she's from the late 19th century. And like I said before, I'm more than convinced that unless she had a massive headache each night, then even Joe can fill in that blank. She was so focused with being near Rose that she didn't mind being around Ethan. Case in point, she could have killed Ethan and stolen Rose so easily, but she really just wanted to be a mom again. Simple as that.
And that's why her mother rating is at an 8.
I will take what is due.
Now, before we get to our number 1, we had an honorable mention. Jessica Trevor.
Tragic as fuck, even though we don't actually see her.
Technically, we do.
Good God, you orange shit.
To be honest, if we actually did get to see her instead of just only knowing her through that one letter, then I would have wanted her on this list. But she still deserves to be recognized.
Agreed, of course.
And now our number 1 spot, unsurprisingly, goes to Marguerite Baker.
There's a change of clothes in the laundry room, dear.
An actual parent that is shown to be very motherly towards not only her own children, but to strangers as well.
and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
I met before they were turned.
She really does show kindness and love, which turns out to be her downfall.
Always wanted to run a bed and breakfast.
You got your big break, didn't you?
She didn't deserve to be turned into a walking monstrosity. And why isn't she in the same realm as Jack and Zoe? I would have loved to see her sitting there with her husband as they talk to Ethan.
Her struggle against Evelyn is truly heartbreaking. Even as some psychic girl is warping her, she actually ends up fighting it longer and harder than Jack did, going as far as to plead for her family's safety rather than herself.
Don't touch her! Don't hurt my family!
It's a true testament to how her motherly instincts are fighting back just long enough to help Zoe out before she ultimately knows she'll be lost.
And that one act of defiance was enough to save Zoe from Evelyn's corruption.
Too true. That added with the fact that it shows their true selves are still inside, watching everything that's happening.
Hell, I never would have if I could have helped her.
Even Lucas admits it.
I'm just trying to show him not everybody wants to go back to how things were.
So with that in mind, as tragic as Jessica Trevor's death was, Marguerite may be in some kind of shell and is forced to watch her and her family become complete monsters, unable to do anything about it. What an actual hell for someone as sweet as she was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of excitement from that storm last night.
This actual mother gets put at the 10 on the motherly meter.
Oh, good.
Wow. I never really noticed how Resident Evil took the good old Disney route and hated moms, since each one is taken away from their child one way or another.
Nice, Donnie. The perfect way to end the video that's supposed to be celebrating them in the first place.
Why don't you go cry to
I would
your
think
own
you'd be
mom?
more
Shit.
respectful seeing
Happy
how
Mother's
your
Day,
mom's
everybody.
scoping them out on the streets like the fucking degenerate that you are.